You know that feeling when you're in a meeting and someone throws out terms like Agile, Scrum, or Kanban? Everybody just kind of nods along, but you get the sense that no one is really on the same page? Well, you're definitely not alone. These are some of the most misunderstood ideas in business today, but stick with me, and by the end of this, you'll know exactly what they are and which one is the right fit for your team.
Okay, so to make this super simple, we're going to use one analogy from start to finish, getting in shape. Think about it. Are you training for a single massive event, like a marathon? Or are you trying to build a consistent daily health habit, like yoga? Your answer to that question will tell you almost everything you need to know. But before we even get into the different workouts, we have to get one really important thing straight. There's a huge difference between deciding to get healthy and the specific plan you actually follow to do it.
And that right there is exactly what Agile is. It's not a process, it's not a to-do list. Agile is a philosophy, a mindset. It's that moment you decide, you know what, I'm going to live a healthier lifestyle. It's the why that drives all your actions. And it's all based on four core values from what's called the Agile Manifesto. So what does this mindset actually value? Well, it says we should value people and how they work together more than rigid processes and tools. It says we should value having something that actually works more than having pages and pages of documentation about it. It prioritizes working with your customer over fighting about a contract. And, maybe most importantly, it values being able to respond to change over blindly following a plan that might be out of date. It's a way of thinking, not a rule book. So here's the absolute crucial point. Agile is the philosophy, the why. It's your decision to get healthy. Scrum and Kanban, those are two different frameworks or workout plans you can use to achieve that goal. They are two different ways to be agile. All right, let's grab our first workout plan off the shelf, Scrum. If being agile is the big decision, then think of Scrum as your detailed step-by-step training schedule for running a marathon. It's structured, it's disciplined, and it's all about getting you across a very specific finish line. So when would you use a marathon plan? Well, when you have a big, specific goal, right? It's the exact same idea with Scrum. It's designed for teams that are tackling complex projects that have a clear end date. Things like launching a big new marketing campaign, developing a new onboarding program for employees, or even planning the company's annual conference. And this is how Scrum keeps you on pace. Everything happens in these short, repeating cycles that are usually about 2 weeks long. They're called sprints. You start by planning the race. What can we realistically get done in the next 2 weeks? Then you run the distance. You just focus and do the work. After that, you review your time. You show people what you actually finished. And finally, you huddle up and improve your form. What went well, what didn't, and how can we be better next time? Then boom, the next cycle starts immediately. It's this powerful rhythm for making steady, predictable progress. But what if your work doesn't have a finish line? What if it's more like a daily yoga practice, something that's a continuous, ongoing effort? Well, that is the perfect scenario for our second workout plan, Kanban. The heart and soul of Kanban is incredibly simple. Make the work visible so you can manage the flow. Usually, this is done with a board that has columns like to do, in progress, and done. This way, everyone on the team can see, at a glance, the status of every single task. There are no more black holes or guessing what people are working on. It's all right there. And right here, this is Kanban's secret weapon. It's called the Work in Progress Limit, or WIP limit. The team agrees to only allow a certain number of tasks, in this case 2, in the in progress column at any given time. What this does is it forces you to finish what you started before you pull in new work. It sounds simple, but it dramatically improves focus and, ironically, actually helps you get more done faster. This is exactly why Kanban is perfect for teams that manage a continuous stream of work, rather than big projects. Think about an IT help desk that's always getting new tickets, or an HR team that's constantly processing employee requests, or a content team that's always writing, editing, and publishing. The work never really ends. It just keeps flowing. Okay, fitness analogies aside for a second, let's get really practical. Now that we know what these things are, how on earth do you choose the right one for your department or your team? Well, the choice really boils down to the nature of your team's work. Is it a series of big, distinct projects, or is it more of a steady and sometimes unpredictable stream of tasks? Let's use a quick decision tree here to see what fits best for some really common business functions. So this table really makes it crystal clear. If your work is like that annual sales conference, a big, complex project with a hard deadline, that's your marathon training. You want Scrum.
But if your work is more like managing HR and IT support tickets, a continuous flow of requests, that's your daily yoga practice. That's a perfect fit for Kanban. Same for marketing. A big campaign launch is Scrum, but managing the day-to-day social media is Kanban.
And you have to remember, this isn't some kind of rigid religious choice. Honestly, a lot of the best teams out there end up creating a hybrid, taking the parts from each system that work for them. The goal is not to be a perfect Scrum team. The goal is to get great work done and be able to adapt when things change. So, to wrap this all up, if you just remember these 3 things, you'll be golden. Number 1, Agile is the mindset, the why, the decision to get healthy. Number 2, Scrum is the structured plan, the marathon training, and it's great for projects. And number 3, Kanban is the visual flow, the daily yoga practice, and it's perfect for ongoing operations. So now you've got the playbook. You can look at the kind of work your own team does and start having a real intelligent conversation. Are you guys training for a marathon, or are you building a daily practice? Getting that answer right could totally change the way you work together.